Live from High Point, North Carolina, the town better known as Little Chicago, it's time for the Friday Night Gamble! Featuring Matt Walsh and his co-host, the pride of beer drinkers and hellraisers, Earl Snipes. Our musical guest tonight is John Beyle. Get ready for an hour of fun conversation, music, and mayhem. I am Nadine Stutz, and I'll be your MC this evening. Pop yourselves a Butch Light and let's roll the dice as we hand it over to the Statesville troubadour himself, Matt Walsh.
Kick your feet up. Stay here a while. Pay no mind that the world's on fire, because we're going to have one of them real good times tonight. Somebody say hi to Mighty.
Hi to Mighty.
Hi to Mighty. Hi to Mighty. Welcome to another episode of the Friday Night Gamble. Nadine Stutz, how are you this evening?
I'm fantastic,
You're looking
man.
beautiful as
well,
always.
Thank you, sir.
My goodness.
Thank you.
My goodness.
So kind of you.
We're going to have to start giving some kind of, get some kind of sponsor like L'Oreal or whoever is doing. I mean, who's?
I'm taking offers.
Okay.
I'm taking
All right,
offers.
we're taking
Everybody
offers.
should know.
All right.
Yeah.
Y'all, before we do anything else, we got to get our sponsors out the way. Butch Light, Melatonin, Clover, Dandelion, IPA. It's the best thing you've ever drank. And I know a lot of people, John, are going to be drinking it this Labor Day weekend. They're going to be drinking that stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're probably best off not drinking it if you want to have some fun and remember what's going on this Labor Day weekend. If you want to have one of those, if you want to look
It's
back.
full of melatonin.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's the melatonin.
If you're
that's
looking
the
for one of them
problem.
Labor Days that you can remember, this probably won't be it if you drink the Butch Light, because you're probably. I mean, after about 2, you'll wake up and it'll be Monday, and you've lost track of days. I mean, it's getting, Nadine. It is getting so high in percentage that it's almost like taking a roofie.
Percentage of
One
what,
of
melatonin?
these roofie things that they drop in the college kids' drinks, and the kids drink it, and they.
Y'all are always talking about the ABV. I want to know how much melatonin he's putting in the stuff. That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know, but I do know that Doc Sigmeyer up in Colorado, he makes these Rocky Mountain Slides. RockyMountainSlides.com. Not only does that, look at this. Have you ever seen anything like this, Earl? It's a flashy tone bar. That's almost, it's like a discotheque, Nadine. It's like a discotheque. And I mean, good Lord, whoever thought of such a thing? You ought to see all the crazy things this guy comes up with. I never knew that you could do so many things with slides, with tone bars, with that. I mean, you name it. I mean, he does all kinds of wild stuff. Folks, if you're watching this, I encourage you to go to the description of the stream and hit that subscribe button on my YouTube. Go to that link and hit that subscribe button. Just open another window if you're at your computer, whatever. It only takes a minute, and go subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can catch up on old episodes of the Friday Night Gamble, watch Shiloh's Saloon Stories, watch Out of Control Vintage. I just released another song from the performance up there at Sweet Old Bill's with the Lowdown Blues Review. Did old Dust My Broom by Elmore James. But go ahead and hit that subscribe link. You make Showbud happy. That's what he lives for. Our subscribers, they're almost better than Scooby snacks for him. So
and Matt, I attest to that. Subscribe to that channel, man. I mean, you can spend whole days watching Matt on YouTube.
Watching my bullshit.
It is worth it.
Watching my bullshit. You can literally waste away hours and hours of your life. But hey, it's better than Netflix or Hulu or any of that stuff, because it's updated frequently. It's not one of these deals where you pay money and then they update it like twice a year, John. Basically, this thing is free, and I update it all the time. Our guest tonight is John Beyle. It's great to have you in the house. I had no idea who you were until you were mentioned to me by a former guest. Can't remember which one, but I will say this: I never knew how popular you were until yesterday. I posted the advertisement for the show, and people were like, "Wow!"
Wow.
And people that have been on the show were like, "I've played with him. He's killer. He's awesome. He's a killer picker." So it's great to have you on the show. Earl Snipes, you may remember from a couple. Well, I think he was on, I think maybe close to our season premiere, season 3. Yeah, Earl was on. So
Earl's blowing up huge in season 3.
Well, it's a new thing I'm doing, Nadine. I don't know if you knew about this. When applicable, I'm going to have a new co-host every week.
Is that right?
But it's going to be the co-host is going to be somebody that was previously on an episode of the Friday Night Gamble.
Well, that's exciting.
What better way than to have another new musician come back and interview a newer musician that's been on the show? And
I'm on it.
All right.
apparently Earl and John, I did not get the memo because the shirts are just about matching, and it could have been 3 guys named Mo, but somehow Nadine, I missed the memo. Nadine, correct me if I'm wrong before we go into this. The show, Showbud is out. Showbud is. You talk about somebody that parties hard. He has. His Labor Day started a long time ago.
It's a big weekend for him.
He is out.
Yeah.
He is out.
He didn't work today.
He did not work today. Listen, tell me if this is true or not. Is Chet coming on the show tonight? And Earl, y'all have talked, so maybe you can fill Nadine. You would be the two to know.
Well, he might stop by. Is what I was.
Well, I've heard that you guys worked up a version of the girl from Ipanema.
Oh, is that right?
And that Chet's coming on the show tonight. He was on here last week.
This is a classic.
He was on here last week with Roll Jelly, which they did a bombastic tune. I mean, Roll Jelly backed up Chet like you wouldn't believe.
He told me they asked him to join their band. I don't believe it, but that's what he's telling people about town.
Well, he told me
that he is in Royal Jelly now. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know about that, but I can say
I have to talk to either one of the Powell boys.
I talked to him on Wednesday, and he said that Royal Jelly is getting ready to be a household name.
That's all he's talked all week. So,
yeah, he's gonna. He says he's taking these guys.
So
to
he's
the
probably
top.
coming back tonight and to have a go at it here with John. So we'll see.
John, do you have a manager?
No, I don't.
Oh boy, are you in for a ride? Are you in for a ride? Just whatever you do, don't do a solo on Earl's song. On Chet's song. Don't do anything. Just the best thing you can do is just look straight ahead at the wall and act like you're not here.
Lay low.
But you are here, and we're glad to have you here. And you're from Chapel Hill, right?
Yes.
Born and raised in Chapel Hill.
Born and raised, yeah.
And you've been playing live music for how long? How long have you been out on doing this for? Do you do this for a living, or just?
Yeah.
So you are doing it for a living.
As of the past 3 months or so, it's been a full-time thing.
So it's a full-time thing. How long have you been at it playing live?
Going on 4 years, I guess.
Okay.
Which, I guess with the pandemic makes it, whatever.
3.5.
3
yeah,
or whatever.
right, whatever. However you want to round it out.
Exactly.
But so how did this all start? I read you did come from like a musical family, right?
Yeah, my grandma was a music teacher for years. Those are my earliest musical memories. Was like she had this big old grand piano, and I would just bang away on that. But she was an elementary school music teacher, and so she had this like a little seat that would open up, and it had all the easy to play instruments like harmonica, triangle, whatever.
Oh, she kept them in the seat.
Yeah, it was a little like bench kind of
Is that
thing.
normal? Is that what you do, Nadine?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But it was all like maracas and just like little things that 5-year-olds can play.
That's like Sonny Boy Williamson, Earl. He used to carry around a suitcase, but when you opened it up, it had like harmonicas, and it had like his whiskey bottle, and then some blades, and a gun, and
But yeah, no, I just stumbled my way into music, honestly. Track and field was my thing for the longest time through from
some more on the athletic side of things.
From middle school until my 5th year of college. I had surgery on my hip, and then that
knocked you out.
Had me out, and then I was like, well, shit, what am I going to do with my life now?
Yeah.
And I joined the Bluegrass ensemble at UNC on a whim. I saw him play.
So what is the Bluegrass Ensemble? Like they have a actual band there?
Yeah.
And now you're touching on Earl's old stomping grounds
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
because
of course,
Earl is from way back in that bluegrass scene in
Okay.
70s, right?
Oh, yeah. The Green Tony Williamson. I was telling John about the Green Valley Ramblers. Tony is a killer. He's played with David Grissman. And
Now is he still around this part?
He lives. I think he lives in Siler City.
Okay.
But he deals in vintage instruments and that kind of thing. In addition to being a big time player.
Yeah.
He's played with the Doc Watsons and the David Grissmans. And
So when would you
everybody.
say this whole bluegrass thing came? Because I mean, this is, I know bluegrass being like around, more towards where I'm from, Statesville. You got the Fiddlers Conventional. But when did that hit Chapel Hill?
I would think
your
probably
earliest?
back in the 50s, early 60s, as the students, particularly like from
With
New
the
York
folk
up
thing.
north, the folk thing got going, and I think it caught on because I went there in '71, and it was wide open.
It was
then.
booming then.
It was booming.
So you were in some bluegrass
Yeah, I
bands?
played in the Star Point String Band.
All right.
Yeah, I moved out to out in the country with a bunch of guys my junior year.
Yeah.
And we had an old house, laundromat beside us. We'd been at the house about 2 weeks, and the laundromat closed, and a bar opened. So
Good. Where the laundromat was.
good for your social life.
Yeah.
Not so good
Yeah.
for your grades.
Right.
But
right.
yeah, and that whole little area is called Star Point. It's out near on 15501 near the Chatham County line. So we were the Star Point String Band.
Great.
Yeah.
Ah.
You can't even get it like that
No.
anymore, Nadine.
Yeah.
You can't even make that stuff up. You can't.
Yeah.
You really can't. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Then it changed to a massage parlor years later. So thank goodness I had moved on
Yeah.
at that point.
Wow. Exactly.
True story.
So what made you start playing music? I mean, out live and in front of folks.
Man, it was really that. My track and field career just was waning, and then I just joined this thing, and I had never really played music with other people.
So
it's sort of-
going when you were in school was the first time you had actually met other folks that. And what were
Yeah.
you listening to up until that point? And what kind of music?
a lot of different stuff. I mean,
Because your style is from what I get, it's folk bluegrass, but it's a little bit of rock and roll too.
yeah. I mean, the Avett Brothers have been my favorite band for a while.
Okay.
But, always people who write good songs. Like I
Yeah.
remember James Taylor was one of my mom's favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Elvis Presley and all that stuff. But I remember from my dad, the two cassettes I remember in his truck were the Spinners' Greatest Hits and the Beastie Boys' Licensed to Ill.
Well,
So
that's
it's
two opposite ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum. Yeah.
So I got a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah.
Well, give us a little something on what you're doing right now.
Yeah. So I got a new album coming out this year,
Okay.
a debut album.
And what's it called?
It's called Worth Stopping For.
We're stopping for.
Yeah. So
All right.
I'll start off with the title track.
Oh, so we're hearing a debut here, right here on the
That's-
Friday night game.
That
Nadine.
is it.
That's exciting.
Right. Find out what makes you find out what breaks you. Find out. Hate to, don't you ever hesitate, no.
Find out what breaks you. Find out who hates you, but don't you ever hesitate, no. There's a whole lot of people along this road. Some just ain't worth stopping for. Yeah, there's a whole lot of people along this road. There's still a whole lot worth stopping for.
Yeah, man.
Hey! All right.
All right. So where'd you record the album?
It's at Arbor Ridge Studios in Chapel Hill.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, with, Jeff Crawford was producer and engineer.
All right. How many tracks are on?
10.
10. Okay.
10 tracks.
All original?
All original ones. Yeah.
Well, you know, my hat's always off to people that are still recording albums.
Yep.
Because it seems like everywhere you turn, there's somebody just releasing a single, EP, and
Or pushing ass.
or maybe
I can't tell the difference if they're pushing their new single or if they're pushing a piece of ass, Matt. It's the truth. My 2 cents on it.
Nadine,
Sorry to
I
bust
can't-
into y'all's
I can't-
conversation.
Nadine.
I'm sorry.
Nadine, I can't say you're wrong.
I stay off of Facebook. You won't see me on Facebook. I don't want nobody pushing ass in my face.
Well, I can't find your profile anywhere. on
But you're
Facebook.
not going to find it, Matt.
But Chet's on there.
That's Chet.
Okay.
That's not.
Well, okay. Yeah, true. That is
He
Chet.
might be.
That is Chet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I always admire folks that are putting out albums. I think albums are where it's at because, you know, I mean, 4 songs is just not enough. Once you, if it's good, you know, you want to hear more. You know.
Yeah. I was getting a lot of advice about that too. 10 songs, just like cut them up into however many chunks and just like release them 3 or 4, throughout a year or whatever. But
I don't think that
can't
works.
do
That's
it.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me.
Mm-mm.
How can you
No.
make any money off of that?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean, it's hard to make it's hard enough to make enough money off an album. That, you know, even if you don't sign a deal with somebody, it's hard enough to make. You know, and in the days, especially CDs, where everything can be downloaded and whatnot, it's hard enough. So I mean, I just don't understand how you can make money off a single. Especially on something like Spotify or whatever, where you're not making any money whatsoever.
Right.
It's more of a hey, can I get on this playlist? Or it's almost like high school for widespread social music.
Right. There's something about having like all 10 songs. Like I recorded all 10 songs. They're all in the same session. And they're like live together, even though,
Right, that makes
they're all
sense.
so different.
Right.
But like they all then have this sort of common thing.
Right.
And it's cool to see different things have that sort of common feel together
Right.
because they were all recorded together.
It's like a book.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Different chapters.
So how long have you been playing banjo? Or how long have you? I mean, the guitar, I guess, came before the banjo.
Yeah. Yeah, guitar came in middle school, like in 6th or 7th grade.
Okay.
And I was just a bedroom guitarist for years.
Yeah.
And then, no one would hear me play, really. I wouldn't play out and about. It was just my thing to do in my room. But yeah, it wasn't until I got to school, and then, like I said, I joined the Bluegrass ensemble.
And that's where it
on
kind of
my
got
own.
serious, I guess, with the guitar playing. You
Yeah.
kind of buckled down, I guess, maybe. And
Yeah, I'm pretty one-track minded, and so
Yeah.
track and field was my thing. Then I mean, it was laser focus. And
I'm the same.
I was doing
I'm the
that.
exact. Hey, listen, I totally relate. I'm the same way. Everything, I get blinders, and
Mhm.
it's you hyper focus on one thing, and that's great. I think that's what makes somebody successful.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's.
So then, when I didn't have track and field, then it was like, all right, I joined the Bluegrass ensemble and loved it, and I was like, well, this is the new thing.
Yeah, I mean that's
so it
all.
was the
That's
same
all it
thing.
takes is a combination of that determination, the gumption, a little bit of creativity and a little bit of immaturity, and
all the
throw
good
it all
stuff.
together. Yeah, you throw it all together and it works out.
But
John, excuse me, is the Bluegrass Ensemble actually a part of the curriculum there? It's a class for
That's what was getting me. Yeah, I'd never
not,
heard of such a
it's
thing.
not, yeah.
yeah, so when I found out that I could play in a bluegrass ensemble and take banjo lessons as credits towards graduation, I was like,
Right.
hell yeah, sign me up! Like,
So was it like that? I guess it wasn't like that when you were
So,
there.
like, if you're really good, you get an A in that class, and if you suck, you get a C, or is it more of a
say as long
just
as
a
you
learning
show
of
up.
participation? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, that's still great though.
yeah, you're not gonna
Yeah.
fail it just because
Yeah.
you botched a note in the performance
Okay.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
They don't give you a C, they give you a LF. Lester Flat. Go back and listen to Lester Flat, son. Something like that.
Half of those flat.
Right.
Yeah.
They do one of these.
Of all the classes I took there, and I took a lot of business classes and just history and all that stuff. The history of jazz was probably my favorite class.
So you got to take some
I
musical
got
stuff.
just, as electives, but that jazz I probably learned more in that jazz class and remember more today
Right.
in that jazz class.
Was it more a historical thing?
It was.
More
Yeah.
historical,
No, it wasn't an instructional thing, but I mean, it just exposed.
Buddy Bolden.
It exposed.
Remember
you started
him?
out Buddy Bolden and Louis Armstrong.
Buddy Bolden. He went crazy. He was
all
like the
these-
first jazz musician, supposedly.
Yeah. And then it
Check
worked
that
all,
shit
all the
out.
way
You ever
up
heard
to-
of Buddy Bolden?
No, I
Play
haven't.
your horn, Buddy
Yeah.
Bolden? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like the first jazz guy ever.
Yeah.
And he went crazy or something, didn't he? Or it was it was soaked in it was soaked in tragedy, like all of the greats, Hank and Robert, over back here and all the. Can I get anybody? Can I get a round for anybody?
I'll take another
Take
one.
another
if
one?
we're offering.
All right. Well, I'm
Can't be rude.
I'm offering. I don't want to be. I don't want you to be rude. I don't want to be rude. Showbud's definitely not rude. He's passed out somewhere, I think. He's done. Well, give us another one, man. If you got one, I'd love to hear another one.
Yeah. So.
And is this one going to be off the new album, or is this?
Yes, I think I'll do another one off the new.
Were these songs written over a period of time, or were these just ones you had in the bank, or what was the story?
I mean, I guess I've been writing songs for about 4 years. So
Okay.
The oldest one on there is almost 4 years old. So
Okay.
it's like it spans the career of my songwriting, but I'd say most of them are.
Now, were you doing covers before this, or?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't playing out and about, and so I was just sitting in my room and just playing covers and playing covers.
So they kind of probably helped you just develop the songwriting thing along the way.
Yeah, I
Sure.
think so.
You have
And
to
then,
find some structure. Yeah.
Right. I think it was just intimidating, and then finally one day I did it, and I was like, oh, it might be shitty, but like I can write a song.
Yes.
And then eventually they start to be
You
like,
know,
that's okay.
listen,
Yeah,
I tell
yeah.
you, John, that's half of it. That's the reason I got into playing music. I mean, in the first place, I never sought out at like going to book a gig. I just played in the living room with a friend of mine, and then the guy met this guy, and he said, "Well, hey man, come out and play gigs with me." And I never thought of such a thing, And I went and did it. And then once I started seeing these turkeys out here doing it, I was going, "Well, man, I can play half as bad as that guy. I can do that. So that's what happens. I think it's just getting the gumption to do it and can continue to do it.
It's not that I'm crazy popular, crazy successful, but like whatever I've done so far has been me just being stupid enough to put myself out there to do it.
And
Like
That's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
So much
What
a
else
lot of
is
people
there?
Just
What
don't
else
even
is
have
there?
The gumption to step up and
Yeah.
do it.
And that's what I say. It's just having a little bit of creativity, a little bit of a lot of gumption, and a little bit of immaturity, and you go out there and that's what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
like friends ask me, they're like, well, how do you do it? Like, how do you book gigs and whatever? I'm like, I'm just dumb enough to ask someone like, hey, can I come play my stuff in front of people?
Right.
Be confident enough to do that, or
there's a hole
whatever.
for everyone to fill.
Yeah.
There really is. You just got to figure out how to fill it.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Anyways,
enough of our dumb banter.
But
Here's some good music.
As we were just shitting on singles and whatnot, this is the first single.
I'll
from
always
the
shit on
album.
a single, John. I'm glad you said
I mean, it's
You
It's
got
on the-
9
it's
others
on the
right behind
upcoming
it, honey.
album,
Don't
yeah.
even talk about it.
I'll go ahead and say it right now. Fuck your single. I want to hear your fucking album.
Get that shit
Okay.
out of here.
Get that shit out of here. I don't care if you work 9 months on that motherfucker. Let me hear the real stuff, John.
This song is called Forgotten. It's already been released, so if you want to listen to it, then go ahead out there.
Amen.
On that single, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I am forgotten, but I am not gone. I'm living on and on and on. Day turns to night and the truth comes to light, and I find I'm stuck between what's wrong and what's right. Decisions racing through my mind. I'm the kind that finds it so easy to hide. Oh, you'll find peaceful way floating in the divine, the dark, truthful place. Now I'm needing to go, go home today. Swimming inside the world in my head, crashing waves of all the words that I have read. So I read and I write, hoping all this just might hop off the page and into my real life. Oh, you'll find peaceful way floating in the divine, the dark, truthful place. Now I'm needing to go home, go home today. Oh, go home today. Oh, oh, I am remembered, but my soul is gone. It's floating on and on and on. All the people here, they know my name, my hollow pride and all of my shame. Oh, you'll find peaceful way floating in the divine, the dark, truthful place. Now I'm needing to go home,
It's almost got like a Jimmy Page kind of acoustic
like
thing
it.
to it. So what's the story behind the guitar parts on that? I mean, it's
evolved.
It's almost like Irish. It's almost like bluegrassy.
I heard that. Yeah,
a lot of
I
things.
It's a lot of things.
It's
I
got
not
that
figured out.
drony thing going. Is it drop D?
It is drop D.
Okay,
yeah. It's evolved a lot. I wrote it on the mandolin actually.
I could see how that would translate perfectly.
Yeah.
To mandolin,
And I don't really play the mandolin. It comes from just being a part of bluegrass. That,
right.
I happened to have I got a mandolin from my great grandpa. He gave it to me, and so I was like, oh, I'll mess around. And I came up with something that sounded somewhat like that little guitar riff, but I wrote it in G, and then I took it to the guitar, and it was in G, and then I was like, man, shit, that doesn't fit my voice. So then we recorded it, and we went to E, and then since then I've been like, man, even that's too much, and so I dropped it down to D, and so the whole thing is just like evolved. But
and the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, I have a shirt downstairs that is just like theirs. And if I would have just worn it tonight, Nadine.
Damn, there goes my Christmas.
We would have been like the Beatles. Do you know, like we would have been like the Beatles, like when they came on Ed Sullivan the first time.
They wouldn't have been able to tell us apart.
I mean, we would. We might have broke ground, Nadine.
Yeah.
It might have been the beam that this ship needed to really,
I tell you what, if you go grab your shirt, I will shave my beard just like yours.
Wow.
We can
I don't even know if we have
There you
time
go.
for that. Jesus, do we have time for that? Sheesh. Well, if you're willing, Earl, you know more about bluegrass than I do. What do you got for John? What would you ask him about this whole?
Oh, me. Do you go to any of the festivals and things? Do you get out and listen to other people playing bluegrass a lot?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's.
How much?
I mean, I know you. I'm sure the last year and a half you haven't. But
I'm treading lightly because I mean, as much as I've gotten wrapped up into bluegrass, and as much as it's sort of like.
That's what I was going to ask. How much do you classify yourself with that?
I spend most of my time trying to.
It's easy to get in that
Right.
box.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with blues for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I'm very inspired by that. It's where I started out, but it's not what to say I'm a blues musician or what I record would be very insincere,
Right, but it's like you put that anywhere in it, and like I mean, in my bio I could put like, oh, Americana, folk rock, bluegrass, but like people see bluegrass and it's like, oh, there it is, like he's a bluegrass guy, and it's like
that's probably that told me when me and Earl sometimes we meet on Fridays and we conspire about things at Sweet Old Bill's, where he played last night, and the Lowdown Blues Review played, and is gonna play again in October and November. But anyway, we were talking. It's easy. We were talking about you, and I said, well, I really don't know what to call him. I don't know if to call him bluegrass or folk or rock and roll. But that's a good thing that I can't figure that out because because so many musicians that I like, I mean, they record an album and then they record another album that sounds like that album, you know. And it's not about genre. It's just about creativity. I think it's just about. And either your audience sticks with you or they don't, but either way, an artist has to at least take a shot at it to get to that next plateau, right? And it's not about like growing or anything like that. It's just about I can't do the same thing over again. Does a painter ever paint the same picture again? They don't paint the same picture.
As much as I love the traditional, the Flatt and Scruggs and Bill Monroe and Stanley Brothers, the hardcore bluegrass, I think I really preferred, like, there was a band called the Seldom Scene out of Washington. I don't know if you guys heard them. Recorded a lot in the early 70s. But they would do contemporary songs, John Prine songs, Bob Dylan songs, but they were excellent bluegrass. They could play the
version
stuff,
of the
but they played contemporary songs, like a Alison Krauss or somebody.
Right.
The same thing. And that just keeps it alive and fresh, in my opinion, instead of... I love Salty Dog and, and Don't Let Your Deal Go Down, but, it wears on you.
It wears on
you.
And that stuff has a place. I mean, you can't And at the same token, you can't wipe out tradition, but Guy, you
Correct.
can't let it just be the blinders on you
That's
that
right.
prevent you
That's
from.
I think that's the big thing of bluegrass nowadays is just folks that are doing that.
They just
I
won't
mean,
give the new cats a chance.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
they don't want to change, and
Yeah.
they don't realize that the people that want that are all 80 years old by this point.
Well, Guy, you would have thought
Yeah,
they got
15
past that
years.
with people like Tony Rice Unit and stuff.
Right.
That they would have
Yeah.
been, and that would have been around your era when
Oh,
you
yeah,
would have been in
absolutely,
college.
absolutely.
Did you ever see Tony Rice?
yeah.
Those guys
Yeah,
around that
I've
area? I mean, that had to be
seen several
fantastic.
times.
Was
Saw
David
them.
Grisman with them? or-
Yeah, I've seen up at Merle Fest. I've
Oh,
seen them, and
yeah,
I've seen
man.
I think they're in Greensboro, Chapel Hill, back in the 70s, 80s.
I think that David Grisman
Yeah.
album that he had, what was it, David Grisman Quintet?
Yeah.
Back in the 70s.
Mhm.
That's just a,
Yeah,
doing all that,
Yeah.
yeah.
gypsy jazz. And,
Yeah, if I classify as bluegrass at all, it's more in that sort of newgrassy, like
Yeah.
Right.
folk-ish, But
Right.
I mean, bluegrass has done me so much good. It's the reason I'm playing. Like I can't shit on it too much because like
No, I
like
mean,
said,
no. I wouldn't
Yeah.
shit on blues.
Yeah.
Same thing.
yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like
sure.
I joined the bluegrass ensemble, and that's
So let me
that's
ask you
the reason
this,
I'm
because
playing.
let me ask you this: how does traditional bluegrass inform your songwriting? As far as write down not so much lyrics, but like chord structures, phrasings, things like that.
Yeah, that's something I've asked myself for a while and never really been able to pinpoint because like that's sort of one of the things that always got me about playing bluegrass. Like I started playing bluegrass and I was like, this is so much fun. I love playing it with other people, and that was like why I kind of dove into it, was so I can play with other people, like something I'd never done before. But quickly I started writing songs and I was like, I don't want to sing about like 9-pound hammer like over and over. And
Right.
sing the all right, does this one go G C G D too? Okay, like the last. I do see how that influences me.
Right.
Some like it. I think if you surround yourself enough with anything, even subconsciously, it will seep into whatever
sure.
you do. And so
Yeah,
you
I
might
mean-
not be able to notice it, but like if you listen to something or play something, enough, it'll just
without
like,
a
seep
doubt.
into
Every
you.
time I've
So-
ever recorded an album, whatever I'm listening to at that time,
Yeah.
without a doubt, will somehow. And it's not that it sounds like that,
Mhm.
but it's a weird thing that happens. Is
Yeah.
it inspiration? Is it fuel? I don't
Yeah.
know. Is it fuel? Maybe it's just
Yeah.
fuel that fuels that thing that I mean, I've had albums where I was listening to this, and it sounds nothing like it, but I sit there and go, well, at that time I was listening to this.
Yeah,
But,
which is an interesting thing about my upcoming album because we recorded it this January, February, some into March, which I was not playing live. I mean, totally quarantined, and so when we were recording it, I had no thought of like, oh, I have a gig this weekend, man, I got to play this song live. Like, how am I
Right.
going to play it? And so we would just step in the studio and just be experimenting.
So do you play them live before you record them?
I had played most of these live, but I played them mostly solo or like me with a bass player.
Right.
And so I had never had the chance to put on a lot of instruments.
Right.
So once new instruments started coming in,
Oh, that changes
then
everything.
it was just like, oh shit, we could do this. Oh, we could add this
And
this
especially
this.
Yeah.
because that's how everything starts with me, was an acoustic guitar and a
Yeah.
voice. So I can see what you're saying totally, is that
Yeah.
you got that what you thought this song was going to be when it started is something completely different when
Yeah.
you get to the end of the rainbow.
But then funny thing, like now that I've been playing live for a while, they sound nothing like I recorded them, or not nothing like, but they sound like it'll be a trio of us, and it sounds like the 3 instruments that were on there, but it's missing the 3 other instruments that were on
But
there.
that's fine, and I
Um,
think, and I mean, you think about bands like the Beatles. I mean, they record all this stuff that they never even played live,
Right.
But and I'm sure your audience, though, that they've heard, I've had people come up to me in the past that said, that had something that had a lot of instrumentation on it, and say they just appreciated hearing the stripped down version of it.
Yeah.
And to us as artists and composers and stuff and writing the songs, yes, they feel weird to us, but to someone else, it's like, whoa, I saw them as a band do this and heard it on the record, but this is totally cool because
Yeah.
I've never heard it like this.
So then to that end,
Yeah.
and playing it live, I kind of reimagined some of the songs. Like that last song, I played it a little bit differently and dropped it down from the key of E to D. And I went back in the studio about a week and a half ago and just acoustic, just no metronome, nothing. Just got in there with my guitar and re-recorded 3 of the songs, like in a kind of new, imagined way.
Yeah, because that one would be kind of tough to hit if you didn't have that open D drum kind of going on.
Yeah,
I can see that.
So
you do have to sometimes, exactly, rework your own compositions if you're going to do them so low, which means sometimes alternate tunings, whatever, I guess, you know, to get that.
I'm going to release those 3 songs maybe like a month or 2 after the album comes out, and it'll be kind of like a, you know, if you come to a solo show, like this is what it's going to be like, and this is kind of a, you know, that's a new, they become kind of new songs, like they take on just new feelings and everything, so it's a cool thing.
Well, play us another one, man.
Well, I brought my banjo and
do some banjo.
I figure I need to play it.
It's a shame Chet's not on the set yet because he loves banjo and stuff. I mean, they need to talk about his love for banjo.
He likes to clog too, doesn't he?
He clogs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought he clogged or tap danced or did something.
That too, but it's mainly
Clogging. Oh, damn, it's a shame that he is not on the set.
So after we talk all about how I distance myself from bluegrass, this becomes the
this is our segue into the banjo.
Pick us one, John.
Yeah, so this is one off the new album. This one's called Gambling Rover.
The beer Earl?
I'm good. I'm actually good. Yeah. I'll take one to go when the show's on.
You got doggy
Get
bags.
home.
Wandering this country, no place to call my home. I've been wandering this country for 20 years or so. Well, I met a girl in Frisco, a girl so smart to slide. She talked her way into my heart, she took me for a ride. We bounced around from town to town, but when we had to part, she'd emptied out my pockets and stole away my heart. I became about as lonesome as any man can be, so I hopped the train not knowing where it would carry me. Well, I met up with a gambling man who rode in the Tennessee to a game of poker. That gambler challenged me. No money for the bet, and I laid down my life instead. Either I win all his money or a bullet in the head. He dealt my fate to me from some old worn out bed. A grin stretched across his face, and I gave my cards a check. I've been wandering this country, now it's time for me to go. I've been wandering this country, now God please rest my soul. Yeah, God please rest my soul.
All I could see was Chet clogging. That's all I could see was him clogging.
Yeah.
Man, that's the crowd favorite. That's what gets people up and
That's a
dancing.
great
So
one.
that's some
a
fantastic
great one.
stuff, and different from anything else
blood
that you've
pumping.
done thus far. And so when is this album coming out?
On December 2nd.
December 2nd. All
Yeah,
right.
and it's well, it hasn't been announced officially yet, but the album release will be at the Cat's Cradle over
Okay.
there in Carborough.
You got
Alright.
music videos and stuff coming for this thing to accompany it?
In the
Or-
works.
Okay.
In the
all
works,
right.
yeah. So
And website?
yes, johnwardbeyle.com.
Okay.
All
Good
right.
deal. Good deal.
JONWARDBEYLE. Everybody
So
gets it wrong.
are we looking at all kinds of what else can we expect from the album? I mean, is it
Man, it's eclectic.
so it's solo and band stuff or all band?
So it's all, I mean, nothing solo on it. So that's why I went back and did the
right,
the
like you said,
solo
the different
ones.
versions, right?
But then there are a couple that get like pretty stripped down.
So what kind of instruments you got?
I mean, it gets one like this has 5-piece bluegrass. It's got acoustic banjo, mandolin, fiddle, bass. But then we added in drums.
Right.
All that. We got electric guitar too.
Okay.
Some piano. I think that's some organ.
So do you play electric, or is it all usually acoustic?
I do play some electric, but I actually got someone else to play electric, and then all of a sudden he just started taking it over, and I was like, "Shit, dude, I don't need to play electric.
Exactly.
You need to play electric because you're gonna play
Wise,
better than
wise
me."
decision. Listen, on
Yeah.
my last album, there was a guy that came to the studio that just came to hang out,
Yeah.
and it just ended up that it was one of those songs where I could not do the solo. It just wasn't working when I was doing it. He came in and just kicked my ass all over the place,
Yeah.
but he nailed it, and it's knowing when to say, hey, put your ego aside. It's serve the song and figure out what's best,
Yeah. That's
and
big.
that's a big That's a big move. That's a big move in the studio.
I learned
it's a
that
mature
hard.
move.
Yeah, when we were doing harmonies, I had a couple friends in there with me, and I'm not amazing with harmonies and whatnot. They're great. And so I would be like sitting on the couch in the control room, and then the two of them and the producer would be in there like working out harmonies, and then they'd come back and they're like, "How does this sound?" I'm like, "That's great."
Yeah.
A couple times where I was like, "I'm sorry, like I don't like I'm not the man for the job here, but like y'all figured it out." I'm like,
You
"That's
got it.
awesome.
You
Like,
got it. Yeah.
It doesn't
It's
have to all come from me.
Sometimes it's just knowing when to step aside. Even if it's your own shit. It's better than being like, well, I know how to do it all, and it just sounds like bullshit.
Yeah, or it sounds all like you.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And there's the other shades of other people's musical personalities.
Yeah.
Sometimes, obviously you come in with the composition and the idea and everything else, but so.
What was that picking? Was that Clawhammer or Fralin or what?
Clawhammer.
Yeah.
I mean, to my knowledge, Clawhammer and Fralin.
And I noticed you weren't wearing
Same-ish
finger
thing,
picks or anything. You're just kind of.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually like playing 3-finger style is more my thing, honestly. But then this is like my one attempt at Clawhammer, and I came up with that one riff, and I recorded it on my phone. Like right when I played it, I was just like, "How the hell did I come up with that?"
Yeah.
And I recorded it on my phone and named it like "Bitchin' Banjo Riff." Just
Yeah,
so I would, like, come
because
back
those
to
are
it.
the
I was
things
just
that
like-
you'll never remember otherwise.
Right.
There's no way that you'll ever.
I was like, I don't know how I did it, but please come back to this. Like,
Please
and
come
then,
back to me.
I eventually put some lyrics to it, and
Great.
we ended up with something.
Something knows. Well, listen, I'm gonna see if Nadine. Have you heard anything from Chet?
No.
Why don't I go downstairs and check? Earl, you're ready to go, aren't you, on this thing?
I think so. In the key of F.
Okay, key
If
F.
he can do it, if he can sing it, in the
If
key
he
of
can
F.
do it now, that's kind of high for a guy his age, but I'm sure he can pull it off. But you guys, I think you guys said you rehearsed it a couple times, but anyway, so well, if you hadn't heard from him, maybe he's downstairs. I could
Might
check.
be.
All right, got another one for us?
I can play you another one.
Yeah, play another one. Dude. See what's going on with Chet, y'all. Sorry. Perhaps he's down there. Perhaps he's not.
Here's that Martin.
I think it's 97. I got it from my great grandpa, passed away this spring. But, he swore it was a 50 something, and I think he just got confused. He had this whole story about it, and, about how he bought it off the Martin factory wall.
Okay.
And that it was 50s, and I think he sold that one some year down the road. And then,
it's
he
beautiful.
got
I
some-
like that.
I love it. Yeah.
Oh, it's got a
I,
beautiful time.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's funny. I was playing a gig a couple weeks ago, and I break strings every show, like multiple strings, and I was playing my $400 Blue Ridge guitar that I just love.
Oh, I got one too.
Yeah, and I've had it since 9th grade. I didn't know what the hell I was buying,
Yeah.
but I love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And so I said, "Hold on, guys, let me go grab my backup guitar." And I came out with this Martin, And this guy was in the front row. And he's looking at me funny. I was like, I know what you're thinking. I was like, yes, the Martin is the backup guitar. I was like, I'm sorry, but yeah, what should I play? Well, for all the talk about the album, I'll play a new one I wrote that so new it didn't make it on the album.
All right.
This one is called Tried and Tempted. Well, I've been tried and I've been tempted. I've lied and been corrected. I've had to hide and be protected from shameful words I've said. Oh, I've been lost and I've been found. I paid the cost of a higher ground. I bravely fought and nearly drowned, but still I'm living on. Looking back on this life, the only one I've led, I'd love to stare it in the eye, but I can only hang my head. I thought I wanted something, turns out I was wrong. I guess I had a rough start, but it's time I'll be getting gone. Getting gone to move along. Well, I've been tried and I've been tempted. I've lied and been corrected. I've had to hide and be protected from the shameful words I've said. Oh, I've been lost and I've been found. I paid the cost of a higher ground. I bravely fought and nearly drowned. Still I'm living on. It's been this way forever, written in the stars. The rising man comes on after the fall. So it's been repeated, and such it will be now. Prepare to pick yourself, not if, but how. How about now? Well, I've been tried and I've been tempted. I've lied and been corrected. I've had to hide and be protected from shameful words I've said. Oh, I've been lost and I've been found. I paid the cost of a higher ground. I bravely fought and nearly drowned, but still I'm living on and on and on and on and on, on and 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 on, but still I'm living on.
Badass. I just want to say this motherfucker's badass. Fucking age.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
right, Ron. What's going on, Ron?
John.
John.
This is John.
Close enough.
Hey, man.
Close enough.
I'm gonna tell you what. You know who I am?
We never met before.
Chet Harwood.
Hey, man.
Chet Harwood, dog.
Nice to
What's up,
meet you.
dog? What's
How
up,
you
dog?
doing? How you doing?
Run with the big dog. The fuck? The fuck this motherfucker?
I don't know,
Is this
stuff's coming down
motherfucker
off the
honing
wall.
tonight? What the fuck's going on? Where have they got you working, honey? Baby, where are you? Is this place haunted?
It's all that energy you brought to the room, honey.
Baby, is it a demon house?
Energy.
Is it a demon house or what?
It is not.
Is it a demon house?
No, Chet, it's not.
Is
Relax.
it? Tell me. True.
Relax.
Hey, you know Earl, right?
We've met. We've met.
Earl's my dog. Listen, man, he tell you about me, man.
No, man, I don't know anything about you.
Hey, listen, you want to get famous? I can sign you, man.
Yeah.
Take you top.
Hey,
You want to go to the top?
I'd like that.
Well, how far you want to go?
Man, all the way.
All the way. That's what I like to hear.
All the way.
Nadine, this motherfucker knows what the fuck's up. This
Are
guy's...
you going on tour with Royal Jelly? I mean, what's the story there? They were asking me earlier.
Nadine, you know what's going on.
You've been talking.
You know what's going on. Chet Unlimited. My new record label. Chet Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? You're trying to sign them.
Fucking ain't right. I done
Oh,
signed
that's
Royal
what
Jelly.
it's all about. Right.
Royal Jelly, y'all, was gonna be a household fucking name. And this guy right here is about to sign. I got a contract written up downstairs in my trans hand.
Hey, I don't have many letters in my name. I sign it quick.
Well, hey, listen, sign quick. Earl can tell you I'm a high roller.
It's the real thing.
I'm a real deal. I'm an old tycoon. I'm behind John Mayer. Remember, you know him? I'm behind his success.
Yeah.
Dave Matthews, not Backstreet Boys, but
Front Street Boys.
Front Street Boys,
Yeah.
something like that. One of them guys, one of them boys. Behind them, what's her name?
Men Boys. Were you involved with them?
Who?
Men the Boys.
I was behind Incubus.
Yeah.
I got them boys Incubus, they used to work at my barbecue restaurant, Chet's Barbecue. They was out there washing dishes.
Out there in Troutman.
Troutman. Yeah, that's right. Incubus boys. But anyway, take you to the top. I'll take you to the top. Earl, you know, we remember her, Nite Inc., you know, I'm here because this is my musical debut a little bit too, with Chet Unlimited. I'm launching my new record. I'm recording a record too.
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Nice.
I'm putting one together because records are where it's at. Like Matt Walsh said, records
I
are
hear he
where.
puts out singles.
You working on a single or what,
Yeah.
Chad?
No, I don't do fuck a single. Singles are for fucking bitches. All right, singles are for fucking losers. All right, we do fucking albums up in here. All right, chart toppers. Cause I got a lot to say on my motherfucking album. All right. All right, and this is
Show
girl.
us.
Well,
Show me.
Listen,
That's what I gotta say.
This ain't.
Show me.
This ain't on the new album, but this is a classic.
Could you clog it while you sang this one too at the same time? Can you do both?
Earl, you're asking a lot of
You've got your bedroom slippers on, honey. You're not gonna clog
I can
those.
bullshit. Just hit it, Earl.
Bullshit away.
We're doing a classic. This girl from Infamama. Yeah, all right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Long and sexy, the fine ass female from Manila comes out walking in, baby. When she walks, she kind of looks over at you. She got pink fingernails, they're kind of dirty. Her hair's kind of stiff, but she's real pretty. That girl from Infernella, come to my house, baby. Oh, the top in my Trans Am rolls down. Oh, baby, your hair might get messed up. Come on, man. Long and linky, you know. I want a little French kissing. Oh, baby, that's what I'm talking about. We French kiss every night. See, I act out my videos and everything. Long and lank and skinny. She looks like she been on the methamphetamine. But I ain't no judge of character. Keep it going, Earl. She got the ways I like in a woman. She don't squint her nose up when I fart. I say, baby, turn the channel. I like to watch Pawn Stars. Yeah, baby. Yeah, take you to the top, John Beyle. Do you want to party with Royal Jelly on our tour bus? The hookers are really nice. Yeah, don't it feel like a sea breeze? Earl on the guitar.
Earl Snipes, ladies and gentlemen. Earl Snipes.
That's right. John, do me another one if you will, because I might have to make my exit here. I gotta go, honey, show bud, I gotta make a couple deals, honey. I gotta go make some deals. I'm gonna have your contract in the Trans Am. Go on, hit me another one, son. Hit me another one. Hit me another one. Play me another one, Charlie Talk. Nadine, listen, I'm ready to go barbecue.
Well, let's get out of here.
I didn't know he knew that one till this afternoon.
Oh, he knows that one. He sings it all the time. Yeah.
All right. This is the first one that came to mind off the new record. This one's called Tempted to Sell.
Tempted to Sell.
That's right.
Oh, I like that.
Find it, how long will you see the whites of my eyes staring back at you and me? And do you see me transform me? I'll tell you, baby, it's nearly complete. I could tell heaven from hell. We both know very well. Find I'm tempted to sell. I find it, how long will you see the whites of my eyes staring back at you and me? And do you see me transform me? I tell you, baby, it's nearly complete. Forgiveness from myself, or is it just a weakness, or is it something else? I wish I could tell. Heaven from hell. We both know very well. I find I'm tempted to sell. I'm tempted to sell.
All right.
Yeah. John Beyle, Chet Hardwood, the ever so awesome Mr. Earl Snipes. Thank you for coming in and being the co-host. You have been a fantastic co-host. Any plugs you can give the folks? Anything you can tell them you want to let them know about? Anything you want to direct them to? Shows? Anything like that?
Man,
last minute plugs.
My website, johnmorebeyle.com, is the one-stop shop for everything. It'll point you. I got 2 singles out off the upcoming album, and they're streaming anywhere. So If you go find me on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, anything.
And apparently,
I'm all out everywhere.
apparently, look for him on tour this fall with Royal Jelly, presented by Chet Hardwood.
Exciting stuff.
Exciting stuff, folks. Next week, there is no next week. We're taking a break. There won't be a show next week, but please join us the following week because we're the one-stop shop where you don't be fooled by imitators. Fear what, Nadine?
Fear the originators.
It's the
Matt.
Friday Night Gamble. Y'all have a safe Labor Day weekend.